The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 373 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez and my co-host as always is...
the Dapper Dan of Dancing and the Magistrate of Caravan City. I'm Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's up?
Gomez, last week, I believe it was last week, we did the big finish for our favorite Journey songs, right?
Yeah,
and
I guess.
It got in my head a little bit, and I was like, okay, I can go for a little Journey now. It's been a while since I've just put on Journey and rocked with it, you know?
Sir.
But this past week, I was on the dating sites.
Whoa.
And they're not the traditional dating sites that I would say the rest of the world uses. And I met a woman who I had dinner with one night during the week, and it turns out she's a mistress. And she was looking for possible dates for her pets.
Okay.
And basically she was screening me. And it went well. So we went out to a place that served alcohol and played music, and it was lovely. We had a wonderful time, me and these three women. And you know what they played? They played Expose. And I haven't heard a lot of Expose lately. But they got a bunch of bangers, Gomez. Expose was big in the early 80s. And
so funny. Expose, bro.
Like, of all the fucking things. And I'm like, as I'm sitting there about to have an entire weekend full of hot Floridian sex with these women, like I'm just like, I'm out with these girls and I'm like, yo, Expose is fucking killer. Like, I gotta add them to my fucking Spotify and shit, because especially now that we're getting into the colder weather, I want to be like, seasons change, like I want to be able to look out the window and think about a song that reminds me of what's actually happening around me. And that's where Expose comes in.
Seasons change.
A point of no return, stuff. A lot of hits. I'll never get over you getting over. Oh, so good.
It's a great song. I'm not making it's a good shit, bro.
Yeah, and then your double main man built up a nice rapport with these people and had tons of hot Floridian sex all weekend. So Gomez, I'm in a great mood.
Bang bang! Love to hear it. What a great weekend. Love it.
It really. You know what else I did this weekend?
Nothing. Just
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I had no idea there was an outside world this weekend. I was completely detached, and it was lovely.
Love to hear you. Well, you were very quiet this weekend. Now we know why.
So yeah, do not be afraid if you guys don't ever hear from me again. As you see, I have no mustache, Gomez. So
what is going on?
I'm trying to get back to my roots, and my roots, Gomez, they're rooted in youth.
Oh my God. It's been a while, bro. It's been a long time. We haven't seen that stash. I don't know.
That's why they call me the Yanni of youth. And I'm out there just doing it.
Let me tell you, when I think of youth, Yanni. It's real. It's real. Exactly. That's just exactly what I think. Do people even know? Like, we haven't brought up Yanni in a long time on this podcast.
Yanni to me is always that guy that was, for some reason, on the front page display of the Columbia House like catalog.
Yeah, he
It'll be
is.
like, oh, here are the new releases. It's the new Red Hot Chili Peppers or the Who's Greatest Hits or Yanni. You can get 10 of these CDs for 1 penny. That's what this world is missing nowadays, Gomez. We don't have Columbia House anymore.
Thank God, bro. Oh my goodness. So many people are debt collection because of that damn.
I know,
Buy
it's
that
true.
one fucking $40 for one CD. What? I ain't paying that shit.
I'll tell you what. When I was in high school, like freshman, sophomore year in high school, my dad always was into like classic rock. It was nowadays my music is classic rock. I'm at that age where my music is classic rock now. It's nuts.
Crazy.
You know, I talked previously about interning at Q104.3, which was a classic rock station in New York when I was 24, 25. And like we were doing interviews with Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he's like, oh, I don't really think of us as classic rock. You know, I think of us more in line with like, you know, kind of Nirvana and Green Day. And they were like, oh, we play those guys too. And he's like, oh. But we got really into Columbia House for a while, like during my freshman year, and I was buying all these CDs. I'd be like, oh, you know what? I heard of this band, or I have a friend that likes this band, and I buy the record and be like, oh my God, this is fucking cool. So I had like a bunch of CDs. I was a big CD kid.
Yeah. It was fun too. They had like little stamps, right? You take the little stamp and you would put the little CD on the thing. Like, I want this one. I want this one. Oh man, what good times. Now a CD, forget about it. No physical media. Best Buy announced they're getting rid of movies. I think by the end of next year.
Really?
Yeah, they're phasing out physical media.
So even when I worked at Best Buy, which would have been towards the tail end of 2010, when I first moved to Florida, it was the first job I had when I moved to Florida. Our CD selection was already very small at that point. And even then I'm going, why would we have anything? Like, why? What's the point? But DVDs were still a booming business at that point. DVD collection was insanity. I used to get the Sunday paper and pull out the Best Buy circular and be like, okay, what's coming out this week? And every Tuesday, remember Tuesdays, DVD drop day, CD drop day. Me and you, we were big DVD guys. We would go to Best Buy every Tuesday if something was out. You know, just like Kane, a Taboo Tuesday, Kane. We would be there.
Yeah, those every week, bro. There's always a sale.
Oh, you have to get the sale. 7 of Friends is coming out. I gotta get it before it goes to full price.
You do, bro. $20. Then next week it's fucking $45.99. Yeah. It's like, what the? I made a mistake, so we didn't make that mistake no more.
My singular favorite DVD shopping memory was being at Best Buy with Gomez, his wife, and our other friend Mo. And we're checking out DVDs before we're going to have a lovely dinner at the Outback Steakhouse. And Gomez is walking around, and I'm standing there like near a discount bin of DVDs with Mo. And I grab some random, like horrible looking horror movie out of the bin. And I go, I bet you Gomez would love this. And then you come walking by, I go, hey, is this something you would want? And you look at it, you go, oh my God, they have Chopping Mall. I must have it.
Snatched it up, bro.
And you bought it right there. $6 Gomez spent on the B classic Chopping Mall.
So good. That's the movie I watched all the time, bro. USA Up All Night, baby.
Hey, and you guys can go back into the archives years ago where we did a 1986 episode where Gomez picked a movie from that year and I picked a movie from that year and we talked about them. Gomez picked Chopping Mall and I picked Transformers, the movie. And that was a hell of an episode.
Who knew Transformers would be more traumatic than the horror movie about killer robots? What a fucking picture.
That Transformers movie is brutal. When you're
fucking crazy.
Like, I mean, for kids today, like they probably don't give a shit because they don't care about those characters, at least to the extent that I feel like we did back then. But I mean, I was I don't even think I was a full 5 years old at that point yet. So I was probably 4 years old in the theater watching Optimus Prime just die and then turn gray. Like robots just turn gray when they fucking no longer cease to exist, when their spark gives out.
E.T. turned gray. It's an alien thing, I guess, bro.
It makes sense. Yeah, they were from the planet Cybertron. So
you think kids, you think like an 8-year-old?
Do I think kids turn gray? I hope not.
One way to find out. Listen.
Holy shit. This got dark.
Do you think when like kids went to see Infinity War, they were like fucking traumatic when everyone starts turning to dust at the end of that movie?
Question. I mean, I was taken aback by
like, it's pretty crazy. Like, it's like, oh my God.
I never really expected Marvel to go to that place. So if I was taken aback by it, like, what is a little kid who just loves Iron Man think, you know?
Like, well, what's happening to Spider-Man, bro? What? It's pretty traumatic.
Mr.
So
Stark, I don't feel so good. But we got some great memes out of that.
Yeah.
Like, remember when LeBron yelled at that guy on his team for calling the timeout or whatever? Or not calling the timeout?
Not paying attention. Oh
Yeah.
my God. What a game that was. Oh my God. It was one of the best games ever, bro. Woo.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a 5-star review wherever it is that you're listening to it, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to smash that like button and ring that bell. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. That way you don't miss any single bit about my deviant sex weekend, and hopefully what will continue, because it was a good fucking time. But Gomez, you know what time it is right now. Hit the breaking news music.
Oh, breaking news. Oh, man. I didn't know if we would have breaking news. You were so busy this weekend. I didn't know.
Never. When news breaks, Gomez, I fix it.
I fucking love it. What we got,
Gomez, our buddies at Taco Bell. We got two little announcements from Taco Bell. And honestly, I ain't excited for either one of them.
Oh, no.
First one coming up November 16th, next week. That's right around the corner.
That is.
Taco Bell is giving us grilled cheese nacho fries. Now, Taco Bell is really leaning into this grilled cheese thing right now. Once they came out with that grilled cheese steak burrito, which is incredible, by the way. I can't put it over enough. I will say it till my dying day. It is incredible. But now they want to do grilled cheese everything. Yeah. And it's like, baby girl, I don't know if we need everything to be grilled cheese. Maybe not everything, but grilled cheese nacho fries. They are the regular nacho fries topped with melted cheese and steak. And then you have the option for jalapenos if you would like an added kick. It sounds fine.
Yeah.
But I don't go to Taco Bell for fries.
No,
I know
get them things.
People do love these nacho fries. I know they do. People tell me they love the nacho fries, but I don't go to Taco Bell because I want fries.
Nah, I don't get it. I get chips. Dip it.
Yeah. Also, December 5th from Taco Bell, the return of the double-decker taco.
Oh.
Once again, to me, very underwhelming.
Because the beans, I don't like
beans,
that.
That in between those layers.
Yeah, I'd rather have the cheesy gordita, baby.
I'd much rather have the cheesy gordita crunch, 100%.
I do remember when this first came out, it was a big deal because it was like, oh my God, the two tacos. Wow, look at this.
And it's not that I hate the beans, you know what I mean? Like if I get nachos Bel Grande, I'm there fucking scooping, you know what I mean? I scoop, I'm a scooper. But I'm not going out of my way to get like the special item where the hook is the beans.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's too much. Ugh, I'm not a bean.
Gomez, that was one of our friends, but we have multiple friends. We're very, very popular people. So we're friends at the Dairy Queen.
Oh, love to hear this. I haven't. Ooh, tell me about DQ, baby.
2 Christmas blizzards hitting the menu back November 27th. We get the return of the frosted sugar cookie as well as the
Oh.
candy cane chill blizzards.
Oh,
Now
man.
I've had them both in the past when they're there. The candy cane one is okay. I'm not the biggest peppermint guy, and obviously
Yeah.
that's what we're going for here.
Sure, yeah. You gotta
It's
be
all
in the mood
right.
for that. I gotta be in the
The
mood for it.
frosted sugar cookie, I like
It's
it.
so good. It's
I
good.
like it.
Oh, I'm excited. I love DQ's solid. It's always there when you need. You don't think to go to it, but when it's there, like this is good. They got some nice little finger foods,
But I think a
good
lot of that
snack.
has to do with the fact that where you and I grew up, we didn't have Dairy Queen.
Sure.
So
Yes.
because of that,
I
even
never
now
think
that
of it.
I
Yeah.
have Dairy Queen readily available, but when
Yes, me
it's
too. Yeah.
time, like if I go out and I say, "Oh, what do I feel like?"
No.
Oh, maybe I'll just go out and grab something quick.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen is still at this time, literally, I could walk to Dairy Queen from where I live, but
Yeah.
it's never at the top of my mind to be like, "Oh, why don't you go to Dairy Queen? Their burgers are pretty good." I like Dairy Queen's burgers. If you never had a Dairy Queen burger, give it a shot.
Yeah, I get the cheese curds, their pretzels. Oh, their pretzels are fucking. Mwah. Yeah, if I'm thinking of getting some ice cream, I'm thinking to go to like 7-Eleven to grab a pint of like Ben and Jerry's or something before I'm thinking of Dairy Queen. It's just
So
because
I
it's
won't
true.
even
It's
do
not
that
there.
anymore because of how expensive the
Yeah,
pints
I do it at
are
ShopRite.
at the
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I'll take the trip to Walmart and go buy the half
yeah,
gallon for one half of the price that the pint is at the 7-Eleven or
100%.
the
Yeah,
Wawa or whatever.
I'll go to ShopRite and I'll see what's on sale. I'm like, oh, Turkey Hill's on sale for
Yeah.
$3. We
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
Turkey Hill tonight.
Oh,
It's
you get
always a flavor I
three for
like.
$10 this week of
Yeah.
great value brand. You know what? I'm buying 3.
That's it. Ice cream tastes the same. I'm getting cookies and cream, bro. It's all the same shit. I'm putting fudge on top. Don't worry
Now,
about
don't
it.
get me wrong. When you're buying the cheap brand of ice cream, you know you're eating the cheap brand of ice cream. There is a difference. But is it a big
Always.
enough difference for me to want to spend an extra $4? No.
No, it's not.
Last thing, Gomez, I think this one is kind of cool because whenever this
Okay.
place does these promotions, they're usually pretty good. So it's Shake Shack, and we don't really get a lot out of Shake Shack. They're always coming out
No.
with different burgers or whatever, but they're doing a tie-in with the new Trolls movie.
What? Okay,
They are
that's
doing
interesting.
3, count them, Gomez, 3 Trolls themed milkshakes.
Okay.
Each one linked to a character from the movie. We have Branch's chocolate peppermint.
Okay.
We have Poppy's sugar cookie. So right away we're competing with the Dairy Queen on these.
That's funny, yeah.
And then we have Viva's cinnamon roll.
Oh, interesting.
They're all made with like real custard. They're like the cinnamon roll custard or whatever.
So my biggest thing is I always get excited for these shakes. Always.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, oh yeah. And then I get them and I'm always disappointed. I never I enjoy the food when they mix it up. Here's a special burger. Here's a special chicken. Delicious. Wonderful. Thank you. But anytime I get one of these things, I always feel like it's lacking. Like if it's like a s'mores thing, it's like, oh, we just, we put a little chocolate syrup in our vanilla and mix it up. And it's I don't know. It's underwhelming. I'm going to try it though. But
yeah, I will try them all. I think if I had to put them in order of how I would be my level of excitement for each one, I would obviously go kind of sugar cookie, cinnamon roll, peppermint, chocolate peppermint last. But I'm interested in trying them all. But I'm also, when Shake Shack started becoming like the rage and the hipster really cool thing, like, oh, this is the cool burger spot we go to. And they opened it up at Citi Field when the Mets opened their new ballpark in 2009. The line for Shake Shack was absolutely ridiculous. And I understand I'm not going to like a genuine Shake Shack location, right? But even then, the burger should still be the Shake Shack burger.
Yes.
And the shake should still be the Shake Shack shake, because they're doing basic stuff. It's not like we're doing like all the fancy schmancy stuff at the ballpark. And I was very underwhelmed. And it's probably because I had so many people for a long time in my ear telling me how great this place was. And basically by the time it was over, and I know I'm paying ballpark prices on top of what is already a premium price for a hamburger, you know what I mean? It's not like going off the fucking dollar menu, which RIP.
God.
Thoughts and prayers for the dollar menu.
Jesus,
but I know I'm paying a more inflated price than even the normal inflated price, and I was just very underwhelmed. So even to this day, when I go to a Shake Shack, I almost do it begrudgingly, because I never, when they did the Hot Ones tie-in, I did the whole thing, and it was fine. But I never feel like the portion sizes are enough they never justify the prices. That's how I feel when I leave the Shake Shack.
No, I get it. The chicken sandwich is delicious, but it's expensive. So it's, I get it.
So that's all I got for the news this week, JoeMeZ. What about you?
Oh no, I don't got no news. I did want to ask, are you paying attention? I'm not really paying attention. I want to ask, maybe you paying attention. This thing with like Michigan State, Michigan with the scandal of videotaping this other thing.
Yeah, they've had like a member of their staff buy tickets,
like faking, right? Like faking, like he's on the staff and stuff. And just, what are we doing? First of all, why is videotaping doesn't seem like it should be like a guy's just everyone's videotaping. Like
everyone has a camera at this point.
Everyone has a camera. So what? I guess because they're focused on the signage. I guess that's what makes it.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. So they're trying to decipher the calls and the signs. That way, if the quarterback's, shooting out whatever at the line of scrimmage, it's the defense can hear it and be like, oh, they're going to run the sweep to the left now.
Oh my God. These people. I love it.
So I haven't been following the story like close because it's college sports. I don't give a fuck. Like
that's what I'm like, that's interesting, but
I grew up in a real town. I couldn't give a shit about college sports, and I live in Florida now, where all they care about is college sports, and I've lived here a long time now. But like, baby girl, we got pro sports, like real athletes, not just guys who are going to be accountants at the end of the year. And there's nothing wrong with being an accountant, but the fact of the matter is, like, why are we watching lesser levels when we have everything readily available to us?
Come on, bro. Rutgers, bro. Come on, St. John's.
That's like when indie wrestlers come up to me and they're like, oh, dude, like, I've been dying to work with you. And I'm like, my man, there's so many other good wrestlers. Go, like, dream bigger. You can have good matches with real people. Don't waste your time hoping to have a match with me. Top shelf Troy Nelson.
They want to have a good time, bro. They fucking, they know when they wrestle LSU, Captain Joe, Maximus Sex Power. Come on, they're gonna have a grand old time in that ring.
That's what it comes down. I had a guy reach out to me this week. He's been wrestling on the indies for a long time. His name is Lucifer Darkside, and we were buddies for a while. We had a whole feud together, and we did some really cool stuff in Warriors of Wrestling, like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, whatever. But he was like, man, he's like, I'll never forget you did a spot where you finally chopped me down to where I went down, because he was a much bigger dude. Like, I'm a big dude. Yeah. This guy dwarfs me. But I finally got him down, and then I put him in some like variation of like the Rings of Saturn, but I called for the microphone, and I start going, I'm taking it back to the 80s right now. I go, I start singing the chorus to Living on a Prayer. And when it would get to the whoa, I would clamp down on the hold and put the mic in front of his mouth, and he'd go, and we're living on a prayer.
It's a great spot, bro. It's a great. Who wouldn't want to work with that? Come on, bro.
And like, I'm the heel in this situation, so I shouldn't have really been doing it. But at the same time, when you have a good spot, do not let it go to waste. So thankfully, the man who has ripped me off shamelessly hundreds of times, CPA. If you catch CPA, normally he's doing something he ripped off from me. And that spot is one of them.
I love it. Oh, CPA is the best.
I love him. JoeMeZ, I am caught up on the Loki show on Disney Plus. We are 5
Oh.
episodes in, only 1 to go. Next week will be the finale already.
What?
Yeah.
What the really? Wow. Okay.
Now, I gotta say, I have not seen a lot of Loki chatter. These episodes are coming out on Fridays. I
No,
haven't
sir.
been seeing any chatter on the socials about people loving or hating Loki, either way. So that's what we call indifference. And a lot of times there can be nothing worse than indifference. Love
Yes.
it or hate it, but when you just when you don't care, kiss of death. And I'm not loving this show. I'm not hating this show. There's a lot going on, but at the end of the day, Loki's not really Loki anymore. He's just another guy.
That's
Like
disappointing.
he's not like the mischief prince or anything. Like he's got no powers, or if he does, he's certainly not using them. He's just a guy hanging out with Owen Wilson, which is cool.
That sounds
I'd like
fun.
to hang out with Owen Wilson. But he's just like, the only thing that makes him Loki is he's very charming and he's got that cool accent and the hair. Like he looks like Loki. That's it. Like, and this storyline that they have going on with the branching of the timelines, I'm interested because I'm enjoying the ensemble cast that we have here. Like all the different characters, I'm enjoying the chemistry between them. I think they're all good together, but the storyline itself I find to be very convoluted. And you really got to be paying close attention to like what's going on. And that's fine, but I don't necessarily know that that's what I want out of my Loki show.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. We watched that first episode, and my wife's a big Loki fan, loves Loki, and she has just not even like. I'm like, hey, you want to watch Loki? She's like, not really. I'm like, good. I don't want to watch it either. And
Well,
it's just
you know what
just...
we got? Not just Loki. We got Jonathan Majors reprising that role. I guess all the heat is off.
How they said they were just gonna barrel through with this, and any decision they'll make will be afterwards. There's still talk of maybe switching the actor, which do it. I mean, he's a variant. He can look like anything. If there's ever been a time where you can recast someone with it meaning nothing, like this is the time, and they just seem hesitant to do it. He's still got his court stuff going on. It's not like that's gone away. The court dates are coming up soon, I think. So I guess they're hoping, right? Because he's in this, and then he probably won't be around again for a while, I would think. So maybe they're like, all right, we just get power through this, and then let's see what happens, and maybe the heat will be off by then. But is he in it a lot? Like I know he's
once you get to like
story.
episode 3, it's like he's introduced in a different timeline, and now to me he's just in it.
So he's just popping out. Okay. So yeah, okay. Because if you look at like the promotional stuff, right, you would think he wasn't even in it. They barely showed him in the trailers or anything like that. And so people were wondering, and then like, no.
And then even the first episode, they just show him from like the way he's been decorated upon these rooms and stuff. So you're like, oh, I wonder if he like, they just like, that's the only references they'll make to him. And no, he's there. He's certainly very there.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Like you said, I don't see anyone really talking about it. I think I do see a mixed things. I see that whenever anyone is talking about it, a couple people love it, a couple people don't like. But again, it's not strong enough. There's no chatter. I see like 1 or 2 people talking about it. It's not a thing. So I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough out there for Marvel. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting week coming up.
I have a genuine breaking news story.
Oh, what happened?
I just got a text from D Freedom 30, who works for the Major Pod. Matt Cardona is currently live on Whatnot doing an auction. Okay. And the Captain Joe Shoes Major Bendie not signed. I have not signed it for Matt. Just sold for $96.
Damn, boy. Look at that.
Now I'm selling them what I have to sell. I'm selling for $40 autographed with $5 shipping. So if you live within the United States, it's $45. Cardona just got more than double.
Unbelievable. Where's your cut? Unbelievable.
I haven't even signed it for him. He's out there selling SDL signed Bendies or whatever, and Cardona Bend, they all, it's his company, so he got his allotment and whatever. I haven't even fucking signed it, and it went for $96. I'm very underpriced. From now on, $250 signed.
Okay, it's a deal. It's just, bro, let me tell you, these things are hotcakes, bro. Flying off the shelves.
Look, I'm biased. I know I am. But I look at this, and I'm going, this is the fucking coolest goddamn Bendy figure that this company has put out. Everything from I'm toyetic. If you look at me and you don't know who I am, you look at that and go, who the fuck is that guy? See, JoeMeZ has it, and JoeMeZ don't even buy toys. But it's such a weird looking figure because I'm not what you expect when you buy a wrestling toy. And the packaging, the artwork, the card backs that TTD Wrestling has created, like everything is just perfect. I'm so happy with it. I'm happy so many people want it. Like I'm getting messages all the time from people who want it. So thank you guys for that. I did sell a whole bunch of them this week and ship them all out. So you'll have them soon if you ordered. People asking for certain inscriptions, JoeMeZ, after the card set where they were finding all my one-of-one inscriptions. Now they're giving me directions saying, I trust you, just write something, whatever. On one of them, I wrote, I'm in a plastic case of emotion.
It's a good one. That's great. I love it.
One guy asked me to sign Maximus Sex Power, Captain Joe Shoes, FWF Tag Team Champion. Like, I guess he wanted everything on there. So I tried to make it fit.
I tried to make it fit. I love it. What color you signing these things with?
I was doing white on a lot of them. Looks really good in white, and now I'm doing like a baby blue on some of them.
Ooh, those are not. Oh boy, you spoiling these folks.
I had a fresh box of paint pens that but the white seemed to be, the pen itself seemed to be given out because I've been doing so many. I'm so popular. You know what else is popular, JoeMeZ?
What's popular?
Netflix.
Some say it's the most popular. And
Netflix just put out a documentary on our double main man, Sylvester Stallone. This is an hour and 35 minutes. It's called Sly. Came out the end of last week. And it's up there. And this is obviously, I would say, kind of gets paired together with the 3-part Arnold documentary that they did earlier this year. These are the two big guys, right? A and B, depending on your taste, what order, who goes first, who goes second. I'm an Arnold guy first.
Yes, Terminator takes everything.
I'm not even Terminator's fine for me, but like Commando is my fucking jam. But
Predator,
Sly, the Rocky movies, of course.
Sure.
Not even so much the Rambo movies, but I've watched the Rocky movies so many fucking times. And we say it all the time. Rocky 4 was on TV, network TV, all the fucking time. Every time there was a national holiday, you could find some channel that was playing a marathon of Rocky.
Yes, it was. USA, baby. It's time for Rocky. I love it.
Whether it was USA, whether it was FX, whether it was the Hallmark movie channel, at some point, they were all playing Rocky movies. And it's great. It's spectacular. And we get this documentary, and I'm excited for it. Are you excited for a Sylvester Stallone documentary?
Always. Yes, I don't know much about him, so I'm very excited. I want to know. Tell me stuff. Tell me stuff about him.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I did, yes.
Oh, well, what are your impressions of it, JoeMeZ?
It was okay. It's too short. we like burning through stuff so quick. Like, what's the rush? Why are we rushing, bro? Like, sir, like, come on.
So I have a lot of things. Remember we talked about the Vladimir documentary, this WWE super fan last week?
Yes.
How it left you feeling bad at the end.
Yes.
That's how I felt at the end of this Sylvester Stallone documentary.
Yes, it got very at the end. It was like, hey, all these fun times at the movies. Oh, family, depression, sadness. Like,
so I had some takeaways from, and like you said, we don't really necessarily he's been in the public eye 50 years now.
Yeah.
But how much of Stallone do we really, and because of the time where he came out, like we didn't have the internet when Sylvester Stallone was the biggest star in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like, I'm sure that the paparazzi were doing the photos and stuff like that. But when it comes to like his motivation, sure. We've all heard the story about how he was really, really broke and he even had to sell his dog at one point. Remember, we've all heard that story, right? It pops up in all our suggested feeds on social media from time to time to give you some positive reinforcement to be like, and you know who that man turned out to be? Sylvester Stallone. So never stop believing in yourself. And it's like, oh man, that fucking makes me, I could be Rocky. I could be Rocky 11. But I had some little takeaways from here. And I agree with you that it does feel very rushed, right?
Yeah.
Like we very easily could have, I don't know if there's really segments where you can split up his life as easily as there was for Arnold. You know, because we had like athlete Arnold, we had movie star Arnold, we had politician and citizen Arnold. You know, maybe we don't have those ready-made chapters for Sly, but we could have spent we could have just turned this into a show. Then we could have done 5 hours on Sly, right?
Yes. Why does Arnold get 3 and like, come on, like Sly could get 2 at least? Like, come on.
Maybe I don't know if he just didn't want it, didn't want to.
Maybe there's certain things he didn't want to, and he wanted to get into certain things, maybe. So I guess.
Certain things I did take away from this though. His first big movie is Lords of Flatbush that he does with Henry Winkler, and I never associate Sly Stallone with being buddies with Henry Winkler.
Yeah, it's true.
But he tells a story here how he got $1,300 as his payday for Lords of Flatbush. He buys a car for $40, drives out to LA, decides he pick up and move to LA. So he drives that $40 car all the way to Los Angeles, takes him 11 days, breaks down when he gets there, has no idea what to do. He calls Henry Winkler. It's the only person in Los Angeles he knows. Henry Winkler at this point is a superstar, right? From the Fonz.
Yeah, bro.
And you're just some guy that just met him in a movie. You're going to call up the Fonz? Bro, that's ballsy. I would, even if I worked with the guy on that one, I don't think I would ever have the nerve to bother the Fonz at home.
That's true.
And then the Fonz shows up.
He's like, I got you, bro. I got you.
Picks him up, loads his shit into his car, takes him to a motel. What a guy.
Great guy, bro. He didn't have to do that.
What a guy. The first choice for Apollo Creed was not Carl Weathers. And going back, like, I've never heard this before, but Carl Weathers is so perfect for that role.
Yes.
That it's almost impossible to imagine anyone else. And in this, he just casually says, originally we booked Ken Norton to be the Apollo Creed side of it, and he dropped out after, I think he said 2 days. And then that's how they ended up bringing in Carl Weathers. And it's just like, wow, I cannot imagine those movies without Carl Weathers. And it wasn't even supposed to be him to begin with. Insane.
Crazy. Things work out like that sometimes.
And this is a story I've heard before, but I love the pettiness of it. So Arnold and him have their rivalry, and it's not a personal thing, but it's a professional thing, right? Everybody wants to be number one. So if Arnold killed 10 guys in a movie, Stallone would want to kill 15 in the next. If Arnold made 100 million, Stallone would want to make 101 million. So they have this professional competition between them. And the script for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is being offered to the both of them. And Arnold plays it off as if he's really interested in this movie, even though he has no intention to do it, simply because he thinks he can trick Stallone into taking it, knowing it's going to be a bad movie. And it happens. And Stallone takes the movie thinking he just one-upped Arnold, and it becomes this huge flop. So the pettiness involved in that, to try to trick your enemy into taking a bad movie, I fucking love it.
I remember when that movie came out, and I remember the movie critics just like, "What is this piece of shit? What are we doing?" It's so funny.
And remember, there was a time where like Stallone put out a whole line of fucking clunkers. Like there was even a Saturday Night Live skit where Stallone was the host, and there was a sketch where there was a guy in a car accident. Stallone was like the first one on the scene. He's like, he's got he keeps making references to like Stallone's bad movies. And he's like, no, stop. And the guy, like Stallone, leans in, he goes, Or My Mom Will Shoot was terrible.
Are you all right?
What happened?
Well, you're all right, sir. Now, everything's going to be fine.
I saw a white light and I felt the center piece.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was going to heaven. But then that guy from that horrible movie Rhinestone showed up.
What?
And then as the guy dies, they go, oh no, look, it's a copy. He has a VHS copy of Rambo. He was really a fan. And then he like takes it out even further. Goes, oh, sorry, it's a porno called Rambone.
Yeah, so the doc is good, but it's quick. It's basically he's Rocky, he's Rambo, and then we kind of rush.
And he hates his dad. The shit with his dad is wild.
So like, crazy.
That's crazy, right? Like, and that's what I mean when I say it left me feeling bad at the end, that he has such a horrible relationship with his father. He doesn't say he was beaten as a kid, but he does say both him and his brother Frank Stallone, who is far from over. Yeah, you guessed it. Frank Stallone. JoeMeZ, can you do the Frank Stallone thing with Norm Macdonald right there?
You got it, baby.
Estimated $295 million to clean up toxic waste at the former Lockheed Martin military aircraft plant in California. The cause of the toxic waste? You guessed it, Frank Stallone.
It's one of my favorite jokes, and like we're completely aged out of that, but like there are people who are in our age group who will get that joke from Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Yes. Norm Macdonald would make it like every week, and it was like one of my most look forward to parts of the show.
So good.
But like he was saying, his dad was like physical with them as a kid. He doesn't say they were beaten, but he says they were physical. Yeah. So who knows what that means? And then after he works his ass off, Rocky becomes this huge success. His dad becomes wildly jealous of him.
So crazy, bro.
Starts writing his own screenplay.
His own movie. Like Rocky's dad.
And then when he has like the big charity polo match, which I love that.
Polo, bro. When he put up polo, I'm like, fucking polo. Who plays polo?
I was like, my God, like. To me, Polo is like the snooty rich of the snooty rich. And it's just like, it just sounds like he always just really liked horses.
So
funny. And he, which is fine. Like, I'm not shitting on that at all. Like, I don't know a lot of people from growing up in New York, growing up in the city. He grew up in Hell's Kitchen. He was a kid in Hell's Kitchen. There's not a lot of people who have that love for horses because we don't have no fucking horses.
Ain't no horses, bro. Once in a while, a cop on a horse. Fuck that cop.
Exactly. Named Butternuts. And then you feed it all the stuff and it keels over outside the 7-Eleven. And then Nasty Nate is threatening you from the prison cell.
Fruit cocktail.
But like they do this polo match and his dad like accosts him like from the as they're making a play for whatever, like stabs him with the polo bat. I don't know what you call it, a mallet or whatever.
Mallet, maybe, I think. Hammer,
but insane. And that's where like I left here feeling I know he's had a good life, right? You know, even as you're walking around this house, his house is incredible, like
crazy.
And he's got a family, and I know he had a child who died, and he's gone through his share of struggles. I guess all in all, I would outside looking in, I look at it and go, but he's had a pretty good life. And then you hear the stories like that, and you go, I fucking feel real bad for that dude. That his relationship with his dad was like that. That sucks.
Yeah, all that. It didn't matter. Real shitty. Damn, what a bummer.
That was my biggest takeaway. You know, out of all the years of entertainment that Sylvester Stallone has given me, all the hours I spent watching these movies, my biggest takeaway from the documentary about his professional career and life is that sucks about your dad, dude. I'm sorry.
It's true. Let's get this bum shit. Come on, we're bringing down the show here. So like I'm all sad now and just thinking about it. It's just
you got something to cheer us up?
No.
No. No post Halloween horror movie? Like day after Halloween.
No, not really. I've just been chilling. I watched a lot of horror movies this year. I did. I was able to squeeze a lot in. I watched almost 50, I believe it was. That's great for me. You know, I don't get a lot of movie time, but I would wake up early, start a movie, finish it later on. You know, I was trying.
Do you find that now as your daughter's getting older, like
it's a little easier? Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Because she want to play like Roblox. So it's like, oh, good. Go play for 30 minutes. A friend comes over. They're painting. I'm like, oh, I'll run in the basement and start this movie. You know, it's always not, the best way to watch a movie always. But you have to watch it in 3 parts. But it gets the job done, bro. Whatever works. I guess the only thing I could talk about a horror movie, Joe, is the big horror movie came out. It's supposed to be the horror movie of the year here. It's available on, It had a small release. I didn't get to see it in movie theaters, but it's out on Shudder now. It came out right before Halloween. It's called When Evil Lurks. This is what this movie is. And it's a Spanish film. It's in subtitles. So
what's it really called?
No, I don't. I think it. I didn't see a name. I think it's just When Evil Lurks. It's not one of those.
I don't believe that. Hold on, I'm gonna Google the translation. Go ahead, tell us about the movie.
So the movie's about like there's some kind of evil sweeping over the country, like some kind of.
Is it lurking?
You could say that. And it's very bleak. It's very rough at times, and I get the appeal. It's good, but I gotta say, I expected a little more. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of world building, which is good. Like they tell you the rules of how you're supposed to be with these demon people and stuff like that. It's all very interesting. But I don't know. In my head, I thought it'd be a little more, a little something else. The year of being disappointed continues here. I'm very sad.
Would you have felt different if instead of When Evil Lurks,
you
were really sitting down to watch Cuando el Mar Acecha?
I would have ran to the theater if that was the name of it, bro. I must see this movie. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, yeah. So it's I listen. All my friends have seen it. They all fucking loved it. All the horror people I follow online, they all love it. I'm the outlier here. It's good.
Better you than me. I get all this fucking heat from the horror community for having.
I might guess so. Maybe they're gonna be like, "What do you need, JoeMeZ? What do you need in your movie?" I don't know. I gave it like a 3.5. You know, it's good. I enjoyed it. I did.
A 3.5 is pretty fucking good.
It's good, but
I thought you would have given it like the way you were talking, like a 2.
it's just because it's been like, this is the horror movie of the year. This is the movie. This is the movie everyone's been waiting for. This is it. So everyone's giving it 4.5, 5s, like they're loving it. And I'm sitting here going, it's good, but you know, I don't know. It's not a lot happens. You know, stuff happens. And it's cool. Like, oh shit, look at that. That dog. Oh, that dog is crazy. Look at that dog. You know, like it's crazy. But I don't know. It's a lot of talking. I don't know. I wasn't fair. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, horror people. I'll hear about it. I haven't really talked to my friends about it, so they're gonna be like, "What? You didn't like that?" I'm sorry, folks. Maybe next time. Maybe next year, me and horror will be buddies. I don't know. We'll see.
That's all I have, Gomez. But we did watch one movie off the Wheel of Fortune this week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, baby. We spun that wheel. It landed on a good one. I was excited for this one. 2003's The Rundown. Oh, baby. The Rock's first big solo budget action. Like, this was the Rock's coming out party here.
It really was, because I was looking at The Rock's filmography. And before this, all he had really done was he did Mummy Returns, where he had the bit part at the end, and that was 2001. Then he was in a movie called Long Shot, also in 2001, where it was a small part. He played a mugger. But listen to the people in this movie. This is obviously a very low budget movie, but then you look at this cavalcade of names on the list, and you're going, how do I not even know about this movie? Because in 2001, you got Paul Sorvino, Antonio Sabato Jr., Gilbert Gottfried, Danielle Fishel, Topanga, Zachary Ty Bryan, who was the oldest son from Home Improvement. So you got some names, right?
Yes.
Well, how about if we throw in appearances from NSYNC, LFO, Britney Spears, and O-Town?
Holy shit.
What the fuck movie is this,
What
bro?
is this movie? What? Let me see. What is this movie about?
I'm like, Long Shot. I've never, like, I haven't heard of this. So I was like, oh, like, what is this movie? I see just played a mugger. I'm like, it can't be a big, like a big release or a big thing or anything. It's not like it was a big role. And then I look at like the people in this movie. I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, how did this one slip under the radar?
I gotta search for this one. We gotta see. We might have a Twitch screening soon.
We may have to. But after that, he does Scorpion King, which is really his first starring role, right? And I would say I saw it in theaters. I would say it's fine enough. Like, I think the first Mummy movie is great. Mummy 2, good. Mummy 3, Scorpion King, it's all right.
Yes, they start going downhill. Definitely. But the first one's great.
But then after Scorpion King, we get this, The Rundown, 2003. The story of a tough, aspiring chef who is hired to bring home a mobster's son from the Amazon, but becomes involved in the fight against an oppressive town operator and the search for a legendary treasure.
Yes, it is. That is a good description.
So Dwayne Johnson in here, I guess he was Dwayne The Rock Johnson still.
Yes, at first.
And Vince McMahon was still getting an executive producer credit because he's owned the name The Rock, which was a hell of a business, kid. He's here playing Beck. One word name, gotta love it. And he's joined on the screen by Sean William Scott, who we know as Stifler from the American Pie movies, as Travis. Christopher Walken, who we know from being Christopher Walken,
of course,
as the big heel. And Rosario Dawson, who I forgot was in this movie.
I totally forgot
she was the
about
girl
her
in this movie.
Totally
Rosario Dawson has carved out a hell of a niche as the only tough girl in the galaxy. Like if you have a role for that singular type of character, you always book Rosario Dawson for that. And this movie is 20 years ago, and she don't look no different than she does today.
Bro,
so
it's crazy.
Rosario Dawson, whatever you are doing, hell of a job. If it's your skincare routine, I don't know what it is. She don't look no different in 20 years.
100%. I was like, oh my God. She looks crazy. Great. Well,
now,
good for
at
her.
this time, Christopher Walken's obviously a movie star. He's been around for years and blah, 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 blah. Sean William Scott, though, is probably the biggest pop culture star at that time, right? Off the American Pie movies.
Yes.
2000, the first American Pie was 99. So that's like still fresh. We're getting those sequels now.
Yes.
And then
sequels.
He did, he's got 2. And we talked about our top comedies from the 2000s last week, right?
Yes.
Sean William Scott, you forget like how much he was in before he kind of just, went away.
Yes.
And in 2000, so American Pie is 99. In 2000, he does Dude, Where's My Car with Ashton Kutcher. I know it's not for everyone. A lot of people don't like it. Personally, I love it. I love it unironically. I genuinely love the movie. But also in that year, JoeMeZ, he does, I would say, a more generally accepted great comedy movie for the time. Road Trip.
Road Trip, baby. Yeah, we forgot about that.
Road Trip was huge.
It's a great movie. Yes, it was. That was.
I named my hose after the snake in that movie. Mitch,
what a reference.
Unleash the Fury, Mitch.
I love it.
We got a lot of good lines in that. Oh, did you kill a cheetah?
Yes, the big underwear. Oh.
And then a few years later, he makes another incredible comedy of the decade. Very underrated, incredibly underrated. Him and Paul Rudd, JoeMeZ, give us Role Models.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe that's on the list. I believe that's on the Wheel of Fortune.
I hope it is, because that movie, I'm sure it made like $8 at the box office, but that movie is fucking hilarious. I haven't watched it in a very long time, so hopefully we land on this before it's time to go see that fucking Marvel's movies. Who the fuck gives a shit? But that's the kind of movie I love. That movie hit it from all angles. It was great.
Yes, it was.
And then I'm going like, what was Rosario Dawson doing at that point? Because 20 years ago, it was fucking 20 years ago. Like,
yeah.
And really, the biggest credit to her name before this, she had done a bunch of stuff, like a TV episode here. She has a ton of credits when you go through like everything. But the biggest thing she had done to date at that point was Josie and the Pussycats, another favorite of mine.
Yes, that's the forgotten movie. That one doesn't get brought up a lot. But people love that movie, bro.
Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, Rosario Dawson. You know how many times I watched that movie, JoeMeZ?
I don't want to know.
No, you don't. I'll tell you, it was a lot more action than even this past weekend for the old superstar. And when I met Rachel Lee Cook, I basically told her that without meaning to tell her that.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh my God, you have no idea how much I love Josie and the Pussycats. And she was like, right.
Oh, she deals with a lot of creeps, bro, so it's understandable.
I'm sure she does. I mean, even today, she still looks incredible. So
sure.
Whatever. Sometimes I try not to be a creep. I understand the times have changed, but God bless Rachel Lee Cook.
Respectfully
bless Rachel Lee Cook. That's why God was doing it. God is very respectful. Except when he was telling Isaac to kill Abraham and turning Lot's wife into a pillar of salt. That was less respectful God.
Love the Bible reference.
New Testament God, very respectful.
Oh, look at this. Joe's got the Bible shop. I know nothing. You can tell me anything and say it's in the Bible. Like, really? Wow, that's an interest. I know nothing.
They call
about
me
that
the godfather of Genesis, the emperor of Exodus, and the Lothario of letters to the Corinthians. So the rundown, JoeMeZ, has a budget of $85 million, which I think
nice, respectable budget.
I think that's a lot of money for like a real somewhat first time star. You know, you're putting that kind of pressure on The Rock. I would have kind of expected it to be closer to 50. So I was kind of surprised when I saw 85. But then you look at like the sets, the action throughout the movie, like you see where the money went. Unfortunately, it's a box office bomb.
I couldn't imagine anyone besides us going to see this movie.
And I didn't even go to the theaters to see this movie. So it domestically it does 47.7 at the box office. Worldwide, the full take is $80.9 million. So it doesn't even make back the budget, let alone the marketing. A complete bomb. But it does have a little bit of a run on DVD where more people get into it. And that's really where I watch. I think the first time I saw it was on an airplane. It was playing on one of the seatback TVs or something. So I was like, I'll
watch a movie.
I'll watch this rundown movie, like whatever. And then I went out and bought the DVD because I'm like, this is a fun fucking movie. But I haven't really watched it in years and years and years. And I go and I do my research and I see Rotten Tomatoes, 70% from the critics. And I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I see the audience score is 66%. And that surprised me because a movie like this, I'm expecting the audience score to be far higher.
Yeah, they should be loving it.
Than the critics.
Yes.
But IMDb, same thing, 6.6. So basically the same exact 66%. Pretty insane, I would think.
Interesting. I would think it would be higher. Huh. That's disappointing to see that.
So this is the story. The Rock plays a bounty hunter for like a mobster, and he's really just trying to make enough money so he can get out completely and go open his own restaurant. That's his dream. He wants to open his own restaurant. And the guy he works for says, you got to do one last job. My asshole son is in Brazil. You got to go grab him, bring him back, and then you're free and clear. I'll give you your seed money, and we can go our separate ways. So The Rock says, okay. Not just okay. You know what he probably said? Just bring it. That's what he probably said, because he's The Rock.
Why do these people always... The guy goes, all right, one last job. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, sure. What do you think? You think that job is like this piece of cake? If he's letting you off, it's going to be probably the worst job. And then you believe this man? Come on.
Like, why do I got to give 2 weeks notice to a job when I'm leaving? Like, I'm leaving for a reason. Don't make me fucking sit here.
Ridiculous. Here you go.
But then if I don't give you 2 weeks notice, somehow that gives you the ability to not pay me out the PTO I had banked. I don't understand why that works.
Because any way to screw the little man, bro. Come on. 2 week notice for what? They fire you with no notice?
Yeah,
we're gonna fire me
with no notice, but
yeah.
So I hate that. But we got a genuinely, and I think still holds up as a fun little action movie. It's not trying to be too serious. You're getting cool fight scenes. I think the characters are working well. They are caricatures, obviously.
Yes.
But there's some seriousness in their base of like their motivations and stuff. Even The Rock. And I think when we say now that The Rock is kind of boring us because he plays the same character in every movie, he is certainly that guy in this movie. Sure. He's the charming, kind of evasive, got a little wisecrack, but can kick your ass. But at that point in 2003, it was new. We hadn't seen that from The Rock before. New. So we're like, wow, look how handsome and charming and funny The Rock could be.
Yes.
As far as we were concerned, all we knew about The Rock as an actor was that fucking thing he did on Saturday Night Live where he ate the mango and
Nicotrell.
oh yeah, Nicotrell. Yeah. Like
the best.
that's a great episode of Saturday Night Live though.
It is.
When he hosted that, number one, if you were a wrestling fan at the time, if you're a serious wrestling fan, whenever a wrestler tries to branch out and do something mainstream, you kind of feel like he's taking it and like you have to support in a way. And I certainly felt that way for The Rock. So like when he was doing Saturday Night Live, I was like, I remember all my friends were getting together at my buddy's house. We're all watching this live going, fuck yeah, Rock. And then at the end of the episode, like you're hoping for the best, you know? So let's fucking live. Like it's very easy to fuck that up. Thank God he's a wrestler. Yeah. You know, in a lot of ways you say, thank God he's a wrestler because he's used to only getting one take.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, when Saturday Night Live was over and he does the, you know, thank you and good night, try the veal, tip your waitress, you're there like, and we're clear like, fuck yeah, god damn it, he did it. He fucking did it. Good for you, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And at the when this movie came out, and like I said, I didn't see it until after it was already on video or whatever. But even by the end of it, I was like, fuck yeah. You know what? Fuck yeah, Rock. You did it. Fucking be proud. Now, did I know he's going to go on to be one of the highest paid movie stars in from 2002?
Hell no.
Obviously not. Like, who the fuck saw that coming?
No. Especially because it took a while. Because he had the Rundown. Like you said, Rundown didn't even do good. But we loved the Rundown. But after that, you know, Be Cool.
You know, if you look,
do so
like, where
good,
did he go
like
from there? The next movie he does right after this is Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Which was another movie that you watch and you go, it's fine.
It was all right. Yeah, it was all right. I remember. It was okay. Nothing to it. A remake of Walking Tall with The Rock. So funny. Oh, goodness. Yeah. The Rock took a while to catch on. I feel like he didn't catch on until Fast 5, really. Like it took.
I think Fast 5 was completely new life for both him as an actor and then that franchise as well. Yes. Fast 5 is, I think, the preeminent chapter of that series.
5 and 7. Those are the two.
Yeah.
The best. The rest, 8.
They're all good. They're all good.
After 7, I feel after 7, I haven't loved the Fast and Furious. Like 8, 9,
8,
and then
9,
this last
and 10
one have not been great.
And I think they've gotten progressively worse.
Yeah.
Like 8 is obviously a big step down from 7. But then 9's a step down from 8 and 10's a step down from 9.
Yes.
And it's, you know.
It's rough. We definitely crawl into that finish line there, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So things about this movie that I discovered, JoeMeZ. The original title was Hell Dorado.
Hell Dorado. Yes, I remember that.
And I remember as I'm reading, I go, oh, I remember that. Hell Dorado.
Because it's so stupid. Because it's like, oh, thank God they didn't call it that.
And then they changed that title to Welcome to the Jungle before finally settling on The Rundown. But yet some countries, including the United Kingdom, still release this movie as Welcome to the Jungle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. There's a line where Christopher Walken calls some group of his like henchmen, some Oompa Loompas, but he had never seen Willy Wonka.
Really?
He thought Oompa Loompas was a slur, and he didn't want to say it. So, Peter Berg, who directed this movie, had to like get him a copy of Willy Wonka to prove to him it's not a slur.
Imagine making Christopher Walken
watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh my God, he must have been like, what the fuck is this movie? Wow, that's good.
Speaking of Peter Berg, who is the director here, there's a scene where Travis asks Beck about like what happens when he uses guns, because this is one of the themes of the movie is that Beck does not like to use guns. Yes. So Travis says, well, what happens when you use guns? And The Rock says, very bad things, which is a reference to Peter Berg's first feature film, Very Bad Things from 1998. It was like a dark comedy.
I do. I remember that movie. Yes, Very Bad Things. Peter
And then, of
Berg.
course, you book a wrestler in a movie, you got to hit him with
Gotta do the moves. Love it. I've always loved that shit.
There's the bar scene. The Rock does the Just Bring It, and he fits in a rock bottom in there as well.
Rock bottoms, that motherfucker. It's so stupid.
And of course, how can we forget? We talked about him earlier. We mentioned him. Arnold Schwarzenegger with a cameo in this movie. Getting Arnold to be in this movie, I guess the story was that Arnold was actually doing something like at the nearby set or whatever, and kind of popped by to say hello, and then like saw what was going on. And he's like, "Oh, can you fucking put me in for something?" So he does like one line where he tells The Rock, "Hey, have fun." Yeah. And people took that as like kind of a passing of the torch for action stars.
Okay.
And so when you look back at it, Arnold in 2003 to The Rock and where The Rock is now, you know.
That is cool.
And JoeMeZ, how much do you think The Rock would make for this film? You know, basically no movie resume behind him. You know, all he's coming in is he's a big star in wrestling, but that doesn't always translate. Hogan never had the kind of mainstream success he had hoped he would have going into the movies. How much would you think The Rock would get paid for this?
Said $80 million budget?
$85 million budget, yes.
The Rock got $500K.
That's what I would have expected. Something in that area.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was paid $12.5 million for this film.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, that's one of the things I found in my research. And I looked at that and I go, there is no fucking way. There's no way.
Bro, I was going to say $1 million. I was like, nah, he can't get it. For what? Who would give this man $1 million? Wow. That's good. How much did fucking Christopher Walken get? $20 million? Like, what are we doing? $12 million.
Now, I don't know if that's counting, like if he got points on the back end or something, like, oh, that's how much he made, you know, like with fucking Blockbuster rentals. I don't know. It sounds fucking ridiculous. That's what it's reported as. That's what I saw in two different places that I look for information. But that one sounds very far-fetched to me.
This is why movies don't make money, bro. They just be spending stupid money for no reason. Let's give The Rock $12 million. Like, what?
If they really did give The Rock $12 million with no resume whatsoever, like what? You couldn't offer $5? Like, you don't think he would have done it for $5?
That's what I mean. Like $12 million. That sounds like you giving Tom Cruise to star in something. Like not The Rock with no. Wow.
Yeah, with no hits on his name.
Wow. That's crazy. That is wow. Okay, well, this is why he didn't make money. But you know, hey, where'd you watch this movie? Because
so last week you had said it is on Peacock.
I think it expired because of the month.
Was not on Peacock.
It was not on Peacock.
So I had to Google it. And I found that it was on our best friends at Tubi.
It was on Tubi. Because I was like, I went on Peacock because I could have sworn, and I looked at it, I had written it down and said Peacock. So it must have been maybe the month changed and maybe it got knocked off at the month. I was like, this is bullshit. Thankfully, it's on Tubi. So people got to watch it for free. Because, you know, I'm sure people ain't running to go watch the rundown.
Yeah,
if they had to pay for it. You know, again, this is a movie we love. I wonder how many people watching this movie.
Well, we got to see if we still
this
love
episode.
It.
Oh, what? Come on, you still love this movie? I
don't know. Why don't you hit some music and let's find out. Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you a man? Are you a man?
All right, Joe. 2003's The Rundown. We loved it back then. Do we still love it? Where's this going on your main man standings?
I think this is still a very fun movie, but I think a lot of the appeal when we saw it originally was the fact that we expected it to be complete and utter dog shit. And then
Yes.
we did end up getting a fun action movie, some good quips, some good fight scenes. We got some nice explosions. The scenery in this movie is very, very pretty to look at. It was shot in Hawaii after apparently they were scouting locations in Brazil originally. The director and a couple of the producers, they were robbed at gunpoint by some locals who took all their their valuable items.
Jesus.
And they were like, fuck this, we're going to Hawaii.
Wow.
So
yeah, I can't imagine. That must have been so much more expensive to film in Hawaii.
So
Shit.
they film it in Hawaii. We get beautiful locales throughout
It does
the
look
entire
beautiful,
film.
yeah.
But I think a lot of it was just the fact that it exceeded our expectations for a guy like The Rock doing a movie back then. But even now, I still enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I think, like I said, it's a fun little action movie. You're not going to walk out of here thinking you saw the greatest thing that's ever existed, but you're going to have a good time watching this movie. And there is a lot of value in having a good time and enjoying something when you're investing an hour and 44 minutes of your time.
Beautiful runtime. Yep.
Exactly. And it doesn't feel like it drags, even from the beginning when we're just being introduced and we're kind of setting the basis for the character of Beck. It's very easy to follow, but you're right into it. It's not like he's waking out of bed or watching him brush his teeth and now he's got to go to work. We're right into it.
Yeah, you learn it right away.
I never feel like it really drags. I enjoy the scenes, even when it slows down a bit to kind of give you that breather where you get The Rock and Sean William Scott and Rosario Dawson sitting around the campfire and doing whatever. It's a needed letdown. Okay, we just had this giant fight scene. We had explosions. Okay, now let's bring it down. Let you take your breath, whatever, and then we're going to bring you back up. So I think this movie has really good pacing. I'm going to give it a 3.5. Triple and a half main man. That's where I think it is. I think it is a very good, solid movie, and I would recommend it for anyone.
I'm there with you. 3.5, definitely. I could see the beginning, right? That beginning bar scene is so different, like even stylistically, like the way it's shot and the way the characters are talking, like the way he's, he's like, I guess we're just learning the character, right? So he knows everything that's going on and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's so different to be like, oh, because I was watching, I'm like, oh, wow, this movie is like really, it's a lot going on in this first 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
And then, but once it gets into the jungle stuff, it slows down, but doesn't slow down like when nothing's happening. But it's just like, it's a totally different movie. It's not that high energy. Like, it's just boom, boom, boom to start. So like, I can see like you watching it being like, oh, what is this movie? Like, it could throw you off to be like, oh, what's going on here? But it definitely slows down. You get like a regular kind of action, buddy comedy. They got great chemistry together. Love them together. I thought they worked well together. And Christopher Walken's having a good time.
Yeah, he is.
Christopher, because that's the thing too, is how you don't really watch a lot of Christopher Walken movies, right? Like,
yeah, I was thinking that too.
He's famous from a long time ago, like the 70s, the 80s. So him popping up in this movie, like it was like, oh wow, this is fun to see Christopher Walken having a fun time with this villain here. It's a good time.
It's like when you think of Christopher Walken movies that you would have watched, like I sat and thought about this, and I didn't like go through his filmography or anything, but I'm going like, if you tell me what do I know Christopher Walken from, it's from being Christopher Walken. But like, if I have to think of movies, it's this and like Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I get it. 100%. He's famous a long time ago, and he's just kind of been a famous person. He's one of those guys,
he did that music video in like the late 90s, whatever, where he's dancing.
Fat Boy Slim, yeah.
The Fat Boy Slim video, yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's probably one of his most famous things, right? For people our age who never went back, right?
People our age, yeah.
You're not going back to watch
MTV
Deer Hunter.
Was still a big deal at that time, and everyone, show us the Christopher Walken dancing video. Like,
yes. 100%.
It was on TRL all the time when TRL fucking mattered.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Oh, baby Joe, we had some fun spinning this wheel. You want to take a break, Joe? Because there's a big Marvel movie coming out this week.
It doesn't sound like there is. What could it possibly be?
We get the long-awaited sequel to Captain Marvel, the $1 billion movie Captain Marvel.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Let's
What?
not forget.
Was it really $1 billion?
Yes, this is why it's very like it made $1 billion.
It made $1 billion.
Or it's Captain Marvel. No, the first Captain Marvel movie made $1 billion. Yeah, and so this is
where the fuck was I?
It's because it's in between like Infinity War and Endgame, so like it had that steam,
Oh my God.
I know. That's why it's weird because people talk like so bad about this movie, but
it's not a good movie. No,
it made a lot of money, so a lot of people went and saw it. Like it's a,
yikes.
So confident in this movie that they decided to add 2 other characters to the movie. And I don't want to say I'm excited for the movie, but I'm looking forward to it because I really like, Kamala Khan. I really loved that series, Miss Marvel series. And so I'm excited to see her in the movie, do her thing. I think she's going to be a popular thing once people actually see it because ain't no one watched that fucking show.
Yeah.
They put it on ABC. They did that over the summer.
Did they?
It's a great idea. Yes.
That is a good idea.
But they show it like at the worst time. It's like, Friday at 9:00. It's like
Friday at 9:30 at night.
No, that's
when really the target audience for that, you're really trying to nail that like TGIF demographic at that point.
Yes.
And maybe you get it, but I mean that teenage audience, like at that point, it's either going to be too late or they're going to be out drinking and drugs in the park with their friends.
So they did a couple things like that, but they just, I don't know. So I'm going to go see
a break from the wheel.
I mean, listen, we can still spin the wheel, baby. If you want to spin the wheel,
it's too much. We can't give the people too much homework. As the teacher of pop culture, right? I'm here. I'm the professor. I'm not going to assign that amount of homework for people to do. I'm just not going to do it.
So then the wheel takes a break for the week, and we're running to the theater to see the Marvels. Hey, we could be wrong. We could be coming back, loving it. It's under 2 hours. It's like an hour 40 something. I love to hear that. It makes me nervous though, because usually they're trying to cram so much shit into these movies, and for them to be like, "Nah, it's under 2 hours, bro. Don't worry about it." It's like, oh shit.
And realistically, we don't want to go to the movies and leave disappointed, right? Like we're not going with the intent to hate the movie. Like I want to see a good movie. That's why I'm going to the movies.
Yeah, I don't go run to the movies to see shit unless I know it's shit, and I'm like, I need to see how.
And like I'm in on the joke that it's shit.
Yeah. No, this is like I'm hoping to see a great movie. I'm hoping to end the year with a banger for Marvel. Please, Marvel.
We're getting to that point, man. It's already by the time this comes out, the middle of November already. Wow, this year fucking flew by, man. It really did.
Yeah, bro. There's like 7 weeks left in the year. It's
like, remember we were just discussing like, oh, what do you think about putting the show on YouTube? And here we are with almost a full year of shows on YouTube. Crazy. But we're gonna have a show next week too. But we got to finish this week's show first, Gomez. So why don't you hit some music?
You got it, baby.
It's now time for the big finish.
All right, Joe. It's big finish time. You ready? You ready?
Can't wait.
Let's spin it. Oh, so close. We almost had a wrestling one. This is fun. Pantera songs, Joe. This is gonna be. I think it'll be quick and easy. I think this one.
How many people actually listen to Pantera still? A lot.
They had a big comeback this year.
They went on tour and stuff, but that's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really Pantera.
Listen,
I mean, it's as close as you're ever gonna get.
It's as close as you're gonna get. You're getting Phil singing at least, right? Someone else could play guitar just as good. Not saying better, but someone could play it just as well as them. And so, I think so. We'll see. We love them. We love Pantera.
I wouldn't say I love them. I definitely like them, but I'm not like a huge Pantera fanboy.
Let's get this started here. Here we go. They were the metal band we were.
They were
up,
the metal band.
That was the band.
If you didn't listen to metal, you knew people who liked Pantera because they had the patches on their backpacks, or that was the main thing. You would see all the guys would have the band patches on their backpacks going to school. That was a big thing. So you'd look at that and be like, who the fuck is Pantera? Or what is this STP? Not knowing that the STP motor oil logo was used for Stone Temple Pilots, something like that. Like, so that's really how I became familiar with Pantera, was seeing other people talk about them and listen to them. And I think for me, number one is very easy, is a layup for me. Cemetery Gates is just a phenomenal song.
Number one, 100%.
It's on the soundtrack to Tales from the Crypt Demon Night.
I love it.
I always talk about my soundtracks, and that was one of the ones that I had, and it was the opening track on the album, and that song fucking slaps. Put that on now. I will say you can hold that song to any hard rock, like deep song, man. That song fucking kicks, bro.
100%, the best. Love it, the best. What else here? I mean, it might be chalky we'd be going here, but I mean, the hits are hits, bro.
I know what you're gonna say. It's Rob Van Dam's song, isn't it?
It's bro. When that music plays, the crowd goes fuck. It's just like, you got to get up and let's fucking go, bro.
And I can't think of that song without thinking of Rob Van Dam in ECW.
100%.
When Walk would play, respect, walk. And they did. I will say this. We always make fun of ECW's production values, but the way they edited that song, where it was just the chorus being played on loop and not the full song, just perfect. Rob Van Dam could walk around that ring for 11 minutes with that thing playing. And he did. And the crowd would not let up. Every time Walk would even begin, that first opening note, that crowd would come unglued. ECW Rob Van Dam was a different animal.
Amazing. What a beast. Oh, man. And then what we doing for the last one? I think, I could go one or two ways.
I kind of have two songs in my head, but I think I'm going to go with This Love off the Vulgar Display of Power album.
It's definitely one of the songs I'm thinking, maybe fucking Hostile.
That was the other one I was thinking of, was fucking Hostile.
That's good.
Because that was one of the first songs people had played for me, and it was like the vulgarity of it, like, oh, fucking hostile, like, which is very tame now, but like being a fucking 12-year-old kid where it was like, whoa, I hope my mom doesn't see that I bought one of these CDs with a parental advisory on it, like it's a big deal at the time.
Yes, it was. Even Revolution is my name. I'll go fucking Hostile, so we don't have the same three songs here.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a 5-star review wherever it is that you get your podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit that like, ring that bell so you get alerts whenever these episodes upload every Thursday morning for you. We appreciate every single one of you. We have hit absolute record numbers this year. We have blown away our numbers for past years. It's going to be a hell of a job by us by the end of the year. And that's obviously thanks to you guys. Thank you guys who are interested in my bendies and who are posting pictures of it and tagging me in all your photos on all the social media. I absolutely love to see it. I'm so happy you guys are happy with it. Believe me, I'm even happier. So it's a really cool thing to see. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ, Twitter, Instagram. We're on Threads. JoeMeZ is on Threads, having much fun on Threads.
Wow.
You can follow all my personal stuff at the Joe Shoes, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Mastodon. I'm doing it all.
Remember that? Oh, I forgot about that one.
Mastodon was. We tried Mastodon, and what was the other one? Hive. I think it was
Hive. Yeah, that's it. Hive. Yep, that was one of them.
They were like fetch. It just wasn't gonna happen.
Oh, did not catch on.
So follow me everywhere at the Joe Shoes. Help support by buying a T-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/Joe Shoes. Or watch my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Joe Shoes.
The JoeMeZ 154, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. I think I have a Threads. I'm everywhere, baby. Follow that Twitch.
You're everywhere, just not doing anything on them.
Yeah, not much. That Twitch stream, you never know. Maybe I'll find, what's that movie called? What am I looking for? Lone Star? What's this
Long Shot.
Long Shot. Yeah, I'm on the hunt. You never know. Twitch.tv/Mez.
We need some O-Town in our lives. I want it all or nothing, JoeMeZ. So
maybe we just need to go on there and watch some boy bands. Let's see. Trolls is coming up. Maybe we'll have a boy band weekend. Ooh.
I've never seen any of the Trolls movies. Do I need to catch up?
You do. You would love them.
Yeah.
They're music. They're playing music and songs.
But they're trolls, not animals. Like,
you get to hear Anna Kendrick's voice. You love her.
Oh, I do. Where's she been? I feel like she hasn't done a lot lately.
Trolls. She's got that Trolls money, bro. She's got that Trolls Pitch Perfect money.
Trolls money. Yeah, you don't got to do nothing else after that.
She ain't got to do nothing, bro. Fuck that. My goodness.
Yeah, I had a crush on her since I first saw her in Up in the Air with George Clooney, and that I'm a big Clooney fan. So I went out of my way to see it, and I was like, this girl is fucking adorable. And I just hope that one day we'll have that meeting, eyes just lock, and it's just magic, pure magic. That's what I dish out,
You do. The Magic Man. And
now you see me. Now you don't.
Oh, Joe. Let's get out of here, bro.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. We are watching The Marvels in theaters. Definitely go check it out. But otherwise, JoeMeZ, let's make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.